Hey everybody, it is I, the Gamer Keith. Welcome to a brand new episode of the GVN line. I get to actually host this episode this week, so I'm really excited to do that for it. I love our intro, and I just want to say I do like our intro. And unfortunately, Hubs can't really be here, but he's here in spirit. He's in the background just doing his thing, being creepy, if you will. Just ha on that one. So joining me tonight are my great co-hosts. I got Jamilian right up in the, I guess would be the top right corner. And of course, with me, as always, is Mark B. Writing. What's up, guys? How is everybody doing? And what are we playing this week so far? What have we been playing, I should say?
I'm sweaty and gross.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Giggity.
No, I've been getting back into exercise now that I found out that my heart's not going to explode.
Well, that's always a good thing for it. But you know what's a great exercise? I have no idea. I was probably going to say.
I thought this was going to go into a masturbation joke.
Yeah, it was actually, but then I was like, I'm going to curb it a little real quick for it. But yeah.
Depending upon what it looks like downstairs, that might also be a masturbation joke.
It's all like, what can I say, Mark? Just stay away from the big booty girls. You'll be all right, dude. I mean, that's great exercise right there. That's fantastic exercise.
Listen. Don't judge my tastes, okay? Don't judge me.
Never
Don't judge me, bro. Don't judge me, bro.
Judge you. And how are you? Hey, Crystal, how's it going? And how are you doing today, Emily?
I am doing really good, as you know. Well, I'll get into that in a second. So really, I've just been really sick in the last month, actually. The last couple of weeks has been like really bad. But I'm getting better, getting back into the work grind. And this weekend, today especially, I had off of work, minus some game stuff I had to post up. But I am really I love Injustice 2. Don't get me wrong. That's like my main game. Like I'm training right now with Scarecrow. So I've been playing Injustice 2 a lot. But in the last couple of days, especially today, I've been really obsessed with Zelda. I definitely played 10 hours today of Zelda, and I probably am going to play more Zelda before I go to bed.
As soon as she's done with this. Like
literally, I'm not. I mean, honestly, you can't see it, but I still have like my Switch up on my TV. I was playing it handheld, and it ran out of battery, so I just shoved it in there and turned my TV on, and I kept going. It's been and I have the Pro controller.
So you gotta play with it.
So,
honestly, that's the way I really enjoy it.
So because I have the Pro controller, I don't have to worry about the Joy-Cons using like the Joy-Con controller and the Joy-Cons not right. So I keep going. It's really bad. I've been very lazy today, but to be honest, it's gonna be back to the work grind for me tomorrow, and it's going to be less playtime, so I might be taking advantage a little bit today. I am about to do the final end to officially defeat my first beast, so nice. I'm excited.
It's awesome. If anything, I remember when I beat mine.
I'm really excited about that. And so besides really enjoying Injustice 2, I also got Ultra Street Fighter 2, so I was playing that this weekend too. Ultra Street Fighter 2 for the Switch. Those three main games, and a little bit more of Mario Kart 8 this weekend. I've been on my Switch a lot. I mean, I was on my PS4 a little bit playing Injustice 2, but really I've been like, and I downloaded the Global Test Punch for ARMS.
I actually downloaded that, but before we go off onto our little tangent here, I do just want to take a couple of minutes here just to recognize that it is Memorial Day. So while we do get to sit back, we get to enjoy, we get to game on here, but I do just want to say that thank you for everybody that has fought and died for us, especially in the services. I mean, we are here in America. We are very grateful for everything that they do for us. So again, just want to take that moment of reflection because we get to enjoy games here and be safe and free. So thank you very much, and I hope that everybody's having a great day for that. But a couple of seconds here. Okay, now we're done on the reflecting. So, yes.
Wow, that was just a really quick couple of seconds. Like, I was at least expecting like 30 seconds, but that was like 3 seconds.
Hey, man, I live on the edge. What can I say? Is I've already I got nothing after that one, but so I do apologize for her. But anyway, yes, I feel like when we were having that conversation, I was about to say I remember when I beat my first divine beast. Oh, it was lovely.
Was it the one I'm on right now?
Yes, Varuda. And it was interesting, but I will say that those bosses are very, very like ridiculously hard.
Well, I was talking. My brother already defeated that one, and he wouldn't tell me what happened, which is fine. But I just was like, "Look, this is the equipment I have. This is the amount of food I have. These are the arrows I have. Basically, I have bows and like 9 ice arrows." I was like, "I don't know what's gonna happen when I put when I activate this one final thing, but I just had a feeling. I have a feeling there's going to be a boss just because I haven't hit a boss yet. And I just had a feeling there's going to be. So I was like, am I prepared? And he's like, you might want to go into one of the towns. He's like, and get a bunch of more arrows. He's like, you might want to get some more food and do some cooking. And I was like, okay.
You gotta get arrows. If anything, you gotta go climbing and get them. And trust me, that is a lot of fun.
Wait, are you talking about the electric arrows? Because that was such a pain. Well, I don't need electric arrows to defeat the boss on this shrine, do I? Not shrine. I'm sorry, this beast, do I? My brother just told me regular arrows should work. So I have like 35 regular arrows.
I honestly don't remember. I just remember that the beast was freaking pain in the ass. Just I don't want to give out too much on it, but pretty much.
Well, the beast was a pain in the ass, but I'm talking about the boss at the end.
Yeah, that's
like
what
the beast was just a pain in the ass because like his trunk, the amount of times I had to activate that trunk down and up and gliding was annoying the hell out of me. I'm like, come on, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely. If anything, because you had to go into the actual menu, you had to switch around the actual rings. Oh my goodness, it was.
The only thing
that was the trunk. I was thinking of the second one. That was the other one I did. So I'm sorry. But yeah, Varuda with the.
I did all that. I activated all of them. It's just the final one, which I assume once I take complete control, I assume the boss is gonna show up. So, but anyway. You and I could probably keep going on about Zelda.
Yes.
And I would gladly do so, but I don't think the show wants to listen to us go on and on about Zelda right now, so we should hone in.
Mark, so leaving off of that, because like they said, even though maybe we could have a show about Zelda one day in the future, possibly. But
you should have just did that. You should have just been like, today we're going to talk about...
because that's my MO, unfortunately, for it. But anyway, getting back on track for this is... Mark, what games are you playing right now, my good sir?
I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV, and that's pretty much about it.
All right. Did they have any like new expansions or anything along those lines?
Stormblood is coming out in approximately a month. The technical release date and the actual release date are kind of sort of two different things. Because the actual release date is, I want to say, roughly somewhere in the vicinity of, like, I think June 20th. But if you pre-order it, you get access to essentially a beta for all logistical intents and purposes about a week or like 5 days prior to the game coming out. And since basically everybody who owns the original content is going to be getting the expansion pack, for us it's essentially the game debuts when the beta releases, which is like I think like the 12th or the 15th or something. I don't remember the exact date.
Interesting.
But
I haven't played Final Fantasy 14 in God knows how long, so I have no idea what the hell is going on there whatsoever.
Well, I took a hiatus from playing just because of everything that happened to me at the end of 2016 and all the stuff that I had to deal with leading into 2017. So I took like about 4 or 5 months off, but I've been getting back into it in the past couple of months, trying to catch up to current content, get all of the stuff set up that I need to have set up with my character so that when Stormblood starts, I can just jump right into the story content and go. And then hopefully keep pace with everyone so that I can do, like, raids and whatever the shit.
Do you think you'll be streaming that in the near future by chance, Mark, or?
I don't really see the benefit in doing so, honestly.
All right.
Like, I'll get to that in a second, Robert. But I am not really a top tier player. I'm not somebody who does top tier rating and that kind of stuff. And that's what most people are going to want to watch, So it's going to be a case where if you watched me playing the game, it would be, here's me going through the story content. Here's me crafting for 2 hours. I'm not going to do things people want to watch while playing that game. So it's, it would be a thing to do, like, if I have something in mind planned, but it would be exceedingly unlikely just because there's not a lot interesting I can do with it. And to answer Robert's question, how about that Monster Hunter Double Cross for the Switch? It's a thing that exists.
Okay.
Like, this is my thing, okay? This is my thing. I don't hate Monster Hunter. Obviously, I don't hate Monster Hunter. I'm just very tired of it. I own the most recent Monster Hunter. It is sitting, I bought it the day that it came out. It is sitting on my shelf in its shrink wrap, untouched. I have not played it. My friends Joel and Sean brought theirs over and we're playing it here in my apartment, and I chose not to play it. I am just not interested right now. I may be interested when it comes out. It's just, I have been playing the game since the very first one came out, and it's I need a break from it.
And I don't think that would exactly sell you on the Switch either, more than likely anyway.
Well, that's what I was about to say too. I feel like it's just Mark hasn't found that one game yet that's gonna sell him on getting a Switch yet, and it doesn't sound like Monster Hunter is that either.
No, I've looked at the games that are coming out over the course of the next year, and a lot of the stuff that's coming out is fine as like a niche property, to a certain extent, but I am not somebody who is sold on Nintendo games, somebody who is sold by Nintendo games. Like, I like Nintendo as a company, and I'm glad that they exist, but for me personally, I do not care about the majority of their releases.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Mark. Go ahead.
It's just, like, I look at the stuff that's coming out, and for the remainder of the year, pretty much. And everything that is coming out is either stuff that I already own other places, i.e. Fate Extella or Cave Story. Stuff that is, decidedly Nintendo and that I'm not 100% certain I'd be interested in.
Like ARMS.
Splatoon 2. Or it's just, for lack of a better way of explaining it, licensed shit that's going to be everywhere that I don't give a fuck about, like Minecraft Story Mode or Cars 3. The only thing I'm looking at that I might vaguely be interested in is they're making a Touhou game for the system, and I'm pretty sure it's coming out. Yeah, it's coming out for PS4. So
okay,
it's like,
so what about the new Super Mario? Well, are you a Mario fan?
I'm not.
Okay, so never mind then. I was gonna say, what about the new Super Mario? I mean, they're bringing it into the real world. That's freaking awesome. I can't wait for it. But I mean, Mark, I forgot that you said before. I remember before you said you didn't like Mario. So
like, I was kind of sort of okay with Punch Out as a thing that existed. It's not that I don't like Mario in the same way that it's I know that I don't like.
That's
like Punch Out is the sort of like I was okay with that.
You know what it is? See, for me, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little biased, but Nintendo was my first system.
You are biased. You love Nintendo. I love Nintendo, so I'm extremely biased. But I can see his point as far as the gamer that he is.
No, Nintendo was my first system, so I have a very And then my second one was PlayStation. Like, PlayStation was the first one I remember the first one. So my thing is
well, if anything, we can.
I'm biased about the two of them. I have for me, there are certain games I really suck at that I'm not particularly good at, and that's kind of where I think part of that reason is Nintendo. It sounds horrible, but it's true. I'm not very good at shooting games, and Nintendo is not known for shooting games. Yet for years, the first systems I ever played was Nintendo, and it was frequent for a long time. It was a while before I had my first PlayStation. I would just play other people's PlayStation before I owned my own. So the problem with that is a lot of shooting games are on PlayStation. So a lot of the older games on PlayStation that I like are Jak and Dexter and Crash Bandicoot and fighting games and things like that. So Final Fantasy, I guess you could throw that in there too. and God of War, but
Well, if anything, we can circle back to that in a little bit more because we're actually going to be talking about some of our favorite moments in gaming for later on.
I'm gonna shut up now.
But no, if anything, it's your turn for it. I heard you were telling me because, like you said, Super Street Fighter came out.
Yeah,
awesome game. So lots of stuff's happening in FGC Corner. Take it away, Emma.
No, because I'm not really doing a quote unquote official FGC Corner. There's a lot of stuff happening and a lot of fighting games coming out between May and the end of June. So I just wanted to touch base a little bit. So as you may or may not have known, Injustice 2 came out. Was it like 2 weeks ago, and it's doing really, really well. And it's amazing. It's 10 times, million times better than the first Injustice. I'm definitely playing Scarecrow right now. He's my favorite, although I do like some of the other characters. They did also just announce Red Hood as a DLC character that was announced. Sorry. That was announced this weekend at Combo Breaker. Injustice is also having an Injustice Pro Tour series. So Summer Jam is a premier event for that, and there's a $20,000 pop bonus for Injustice 2 at Summer Jam. Yay! Nice. So that being said, that game happens to be doing very, very well right now, and I'm enjoying it, and you guys should totally get it if you like fighting games. That being said, other game. Ultra Street Fighter 2 on the Switch just came out. This one is a little bit more of a nostalgic game. I can see obviously it at tournaments, but not necessarily a requirement. It's a lot of fun. I really like.
But what I would really like to see in the FGC, as far as that one's concerned, is that what's great with it is that you can literally just break out your Switch in between matches and just be like, let's play a quick round of Street Fighter 2.
That's definitely a perk of it, and it is a lot of fun. The problem I would say with it right now is the price more than anything. I personally didn't mind paying $40, but a lot of other people did.
I paid 11, so there we go.
What?
Yes. And yes, it is laggy as shit online.
See, I haven't played it online yet. I can't say too much on it. I have played it. I've beat arcade mode a few times, and I've messed with the colors a little bit. But I haven't explored the game enough and did the real life Shoryukens or anything like that yet. Hadoukens.
I actually sent you a message on that. I was all like, Hado mode is totally gimmicky, but it is fun, I will say.
Yeah, I saw that. I just haven't tried it yet. But so far I think it's doing pretty well. It seems like a decent game. Another major fighting game that also announced their own tour Pro Series, Tekken 7 is actually coming out this Friday. I will get it Thursday night because GameStop is having another tournament and they're handing out the game again Thursday night. So I'm really excited. So I will be going to a Tekken tournament this Thursday and picking up the game. So Tekken 7, long awaited. This game was supposed to come out over a year ago and kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. And it is finally coming out. They also have a Pro Series going on, so Summer Jam is a part of that, and also the Fall Classic TFC in North Carolina is a premier event for that. So lots of money, lots of chance for championships, and yet there is another fighting game coming out just a few weeks after Tekken 7, and that is ARMS. Now, this is one that is up in the air on whether or not we're going to see it at tournaments, but surprisingly, I've already had a couple people ask me if it's going to be at our events. So I guess it just depends on who has a Switch and what the reaction is once the game comes out. I personally downloaded the Global Test Punch because I wanted to try it. Now, I kept missing all the times this weekend because I was really busy and I was getting aggravated. Luckily for me, there's going to be more times next week. I think it's the next times again start on June 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. I kind of screenshotted all the times. But what I did manage to do was I did play the tutorial in the beginning because they do a little tutorial in the beginning. and then it goes to the main screen, which the only thing you can really do is go online when they let you on.
Yeah, because I tried playing it, and like you said, I missed the times, and it was all like, "Oh, screw you!" I was like, "Oh."
It was like it's like the server's down. I'm like, damn it. Just so you know, Keith, in case you didn't know, they're hour long.
Oh.
It's 1 hour long from the time that they say. That's why you keep missing it, because I looked up how long it was. So like if it says it starts at 2 Eastern Standard Time, it'll be over by around 3-ish. So that's why.
I think Mark would concur with me that Nintendo doesn't love us, but they do love our money.
I mean, that's every company.
I mean, it would be nice for them to do it longer, but you know. That being said, from the little tutorial that I did, it was surprisingly fun. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it, which is why, even though I pre-ordered it, I wanted to do the demo. And it seemed more complex than I was expecting. It looks very simple, but there's a lot of buttons that you kind of... It's simple and it's not. I don't know, Keith, what were your...
Well, the thing is, I haven't got
on the little No, I just mean on the tutorial, from the very little bit that you played.
I did not load up a tutorial, so that's why I'm like baffled with what you say at this point.
You wanna know why? It probably didn't load up the tutorial because I got in before it shut me down. Wait, it didn't load up a tutorial? From the moment I went in, it instantly went into like telling me what buttons to push and how to play.
No, I got to the main screen. It was like 1 player, 2 player, and I was all like, okay, I'm going to try. And luckily, I actually had somebody that was next to me. I'm like, let's play 2 player. And they were like, absolutely. And it was funny. I did this on Sunday, and right before I was actually supposed to work. So now everybody knows a dirty secret. If anybody wants to tell my CEO or anybody, go right ahead. But anyway, I was ready to play that, and all of a sudden I was like, why isn't this working? And it's like server error. I'm like, son of a bitch. So
yeah, it's just hour long. That's why. But so I guess I can't ask you what that was like. But basically, we're at a special time of year where, I mean, even Guilty Gear Rev 2 there's a new Guilty Gear coming out, not Rev 2. Oh, is it Rev 2? I think it's Rev 2 that's officially coming out also. And then we have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which isn't
coming out in September or something along those lines?
It's coming out later. It's not coming out in the summer. But it just goes to show you how many this is the year of fighting games coming out, especially these last 2 months. I mean, it's so much to the point where there's just so much going on online. And this is also the time of year where we have a lot of major events happening. So Combo Breaker just happened this last weekend. And then this next month, you're going to have CEO. You're going to have, I think, Defend the North in... Rob, is Defend the North in June or July? I can't remember.
Who is this, Robert?
I can't...
Our fact
if you
checker.
can look it up for me, I can't remember. I want to say it's near the end of June, but I could be wrong.
So when people are watching this and or listening to this, they'll find...
I lied. It's after Evo. So you have Evo, and you have Defend the North, and then you have our event Summer Jam. You have our monthly events. We're having another one this Sunday for Red Bull, and then you're gonna have like, oh. Okay,
yeah,
well,
that's what I was trying to say is like there is no wrong.
Oh, well, that's okay. Well, and then there's just a lot of events. You're going to have multiple majors happening every single month now for the rest of the year, including big ones like now 2 more Pro Tours that are happening for Injustice and Tekken, and it's just a lot. I mean, I could keep going, but I said I wasn't going to do a big thing, so I'm going to stop there. But I mostly just wanted to talk about a lot of the fighting games and stuff like that coming up. And TFC, if you are going to the Fall Classic, registration is now officially open. So if you go to the Fall Classic 2017 on Facebook, you will find all the information that you need, and you can now book your rooms.
Nice. So definitely be on the lookout for that, guys. If anything, I really want to try and go to Summer Jam this year. I know.
I have to find out that information for you, Keith. I got sick, and it was just one thing after another. So I'm really sorry.
No.
I'll find
Don't
out
be.
for you.
No, it's honestly no big thing. If anything, just even if I just go there and just watch and just be like, what's going on here? It would be interesting and just something different to do.
If you want to spectate, well, I'll send a message to you.
All right. But anyway, so what I really wanted to put a lot emphasis on the show, since if anything, this is actually our 1 year anniversary, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty exciting. I wish that Hubs could actually be on the actual show, but unfortunately he's not at this moment. But it's still our first year for it. A lot of cool stuff, a lot of fun stuff, I really say. I really like the stuff that we've been doing. I mean, granted, we're not the best. We don't have the biggest audience, but you know what? We love our fans, and I love doing this every other Monday for it. So it warms my heart. But getting back on topic, to piggyback off of the nostalgic feeling for it, I want to talk about our greatest moments in gaming for it. What is that one moment that just kind of like captured you, and you're just like, wow, I can't, like, it took you a minute to digest it. And there's a lot of games that have that. I don't want to go into mine yet. I want to hear all of yours first. So if anything, I'm going to start off with Mark. Mark, what was that one point in any game? And I feel this is going to be awesome because I know you play a lot of good RPGs and whatnot and a lot of good JRPGs. What was that one moment in gaming that kind of like just like blew your mind? Just like it really touched your feels, so to say.
If I had to really boil it down to one moment above and beyond all others, it would most likely be the moment in Lunar, the first one specifically for the PlayStation in this case, where Galleon turns on you and is like, oh, I'm really a bad guy. Because I had not really played the previous Sega CD release, and I was playing this at a time where, spoilers were not a thing that you were going to see readily unless you actively went out of your way to go look for them. GameFAQs was kind of still really in its infancy. Social media in general just didn't exist. So you were kind of going into stuff blind in a lot of cases. So I didn't know what the particular trope was that they were going for there or what was going to happen. So when it happened, it was just, oh, wow, okay, shit just got real. And the game progressively amped up, but it's that one moment where the character just turns on you that really makes that experience what it is.
That's pretty awesome, dude. If anything, I did play the Sega CD, or it was Sega Saturn you said Lunar was on, or was on Sega CD?
Sega CD originally. It was originally released on Sega CD, and then it was released on the PlayStation in the US. The Saturn release was in Japan, but we never saw a US Saturn release.
Okay, because I played it briefly on the PlayStation for it, and Lunar was a really, really good series for it, and I do remember that moment. That was pretty awesome. So Emily, take it away. What are your favorite moments in gaming? Something that gave you the feels that you were just all like, either you got overrun with emotion, either you felt something for this, or you were like, holy shit, this just got real.
So many moments. Let me see. Let me think. Let me see. Without actually saying full games, because there are games I definitely like. I could just say the whole game made me feel this way, so I won't go into that.
Go on with that one. If anything, I want to hear something that's like you as the gamer. This kind of helps you.
All right. Well, I have a couple. Do you want me to just do one?
Just narrow it to, just for time constraints purposes. Let's narrow it down.
Oh, narrow it to one. All right. If I had to narrow it to one. All right. Here we go. So the very first God of War game I ever played was surprisingly not that long ago. It was probably about 5 years ago. It was soon after I met my boyfriend, and he had a PSP. And he had,
that's how he got her. It was all like,
no. That's not how he got me. But he had a PSP, and I was looking at some of his games, and I had PlayStation, but I didn't have their handheld. I've always been a very Nintendo handheld kind of person. Like, I don't really go to the other ones. But he had God of War. I believe Ghost of Sparta was what it was. And I wanted to check it out. I'm like, oh, this looks like fun. This looks like right up my alley of a game I would like. And I was obsessed with it. I beat it in 5 hours. Like, I wouldn't stop playing. He's like, do you want to go to the food? I'm like, when I'm done. And I was like, when I'm done. And he goes, are you sure? He's like, you're not hungry? I'm like, you want to go get food? You can go get food. I was at his house. I was like, you can go. I'm just going to stay here on this couch and play this. I was like, anywhere we went. He goes, just come with me. I said, okay, I brought it with me. And I kept playing. I was really obsessed with it.
Did you answer in one-word syllables of yeah or okay?
What?
I said, did you answer in like one-word syllables?
Yeah, pretty much. Like he had to go meet up with his friend at one point. And he goes, "Do you want to come with me?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And I just sat in the car, and his friend's like, I heard him say, "Where's Emily?" He goes, "Oh, she's in there playing God of War." And he's like, "Damn, really?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "So what's up, Emily?" I'm like, "Shh." Like, I was just like, "Leave me alone." Like, I just said, "Shh." I'm like, I'm trying to beat this boss. Like, I just was.
But what
that experience when I beat the whole game, and I beat the final boss, and I won. That whole experience was like wow for me, to the point where I went out and I bought the God of War collection and for my PlayStation, like my actual system, not the PSP. And I played every single game. And then I got God of War Ascension, and I am now a very, very huge fan of God of War just because of my experience playing that one game. And I know it sounds dumb because it was on PSP, but it's way better. It's way better on the big screen.
Yeah, but what actually drew you into it? Like, what was the moment that you were like, this is the game that actually makes me want to continue this series? And or what, like, connected to you that made it pop out so much?
Well, I'm really into Greek, like, mythology. And I also really, really like playing beefy guys. It sounds really dumb, but I like.
So you're going for that? You just like how Kratos looks. It's all right.
I mean, no, it's Jack dude. It's not. I mean, it's not just that. Like, I got Heavenly Sword because Heavenly Sword was a female version, and it seemed very similar to God of War. Like when I bought Heavenly Sword, so it's not just about me saying, okay, I like playing manly characters, but there's just something like I like beating shit up when I play games, and it's kind of like hack and slash, and I kind of like hack and slash. Like, I can just take his weapons and I can just like slash the shit out of monsters. And Kratos is a dirty guy, and I think
okay.
You can't hear Rob laughing right now.
I was about to say, but he is laughing in the background.
He's busting up laughing right now. So one of the moments, and this is going to make me seem like a total pervert, and I'm not.
I want to hear this now. Go on. Shut up. Take it. Go.
But one of the best parts, one of my favorite parts of God of War is there's always one part where you can initiate Kratos having sex with pretty much these whores. Like, they're just a bunch of like, I mean that's pretty much what they are.
They're like, whores. Maybe they're down on their luck.
They're like prostitutes, and they're like, ooh, Kratos, and they're like, oh. Now the problem is you have to do inputs. All right, like there are inputs you have to do to like.
Oh, I remember this.
You're right. There are inputs you have to put into.
So you have to do a fucking active time event. Press X to bone.
Yeah. Like, and there's like several like X and triangle and several things you have to push, and you have to push in a certain amount of time, or Kratos doesn't perform properly, and the girls insult him. Like, they're like, "Oh, come on, Kratos, you can do better." Oh, I'm so disappointed in you. Like, and all it makes you want to do is keep doing it over and over again until you just bang the hell out of them and you get it. So like, I failed like twice. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, this is bullshit. So like, I kept going at it, and I just remember my boyfriend walking in. He goes, and he tried to talk to me, and I'm just like, damn it. I'm like, I'm trying to fuck these bitches. And he's like, what? It's just like, so, I mean, it sounds dumb, but like, I find that stuff entertaining. Like, I'm not like that in real life, but I find it fun to hack and slash monsters and like screw prostitutes in the game.
Wow. Okay.
I honestly though, I really like the Greek mythology I really like the Greek mythology aspect of it too, and a lot of people are really like that's probably a big thing for me is the Greek mythology aspect of it. I like I like that. That's that and the hack and slash, and a lot of people are upset with like it's switching to Norse mythology for the next God of War game, but I understand why it is, and I'm actually excited to see what they do with it because I happen to really like mythology in general and ancient history, and the game kind of revolves around Kratos' character in ancient history. So,
All right. Now, even though Hubs isn't,
you learn some new fun stuff about.
I did. I think that is an awesome story. I'm all like, wow. Apparently, Emily's just a closet pervert at the second.
I'm not. I told you that I'm not.
Like, if anything, you see, like you're the typical like Japanese like pervert dude. Like he's very somber and like he just doesn't talk. And then all of a sudden you go home and then you see him like bagging chicks on screen. It's like, what the hell's going on now?
Well, you can't see anything. It's just stimulated. But yeah, no. I mean, isn't that like the cool thing about video games though? It's not who you are, but you can play and you can pretend and go in some fantasy world. I mean, I don't know.
That's the definition of video games: is taking on a character, is living out something that cannot be done in or real life, and or you cannot do yourself in real life.
But I mean, there are plenty of other innocent, like everyone games that I had those moments with too. But I mean, God of War, like I said, I just played that one, and I went out like a day later after I beat it and bought the whole collection. So I'm just a big fan of the game. I wish I would have played it sooner, to be honest.
Nice. So if anything, even though Hubs is not actually on screen here, but he is in voice, he's going to mute his mic in just a second. And he actually has a moment he wants to share with us. So, Hubs, what's the moment that gives you the feels? Something that just was like, wow, holy crap, this game is like, it's getting real. Something's going to happen. It touched you. It touched your feels.
Well, it's kind of hard for me to follow that violence erotica fantasy of hers.
I do, okay.
But apologize for the really crappy
myself.
voice, people. One of the best moments I've ever had was actually towards the end of Shenmue 2, when I was practically at the top of a building, accomplishing a quest where I beat the leader of a gang in China, and as Ryo Hazuki, you stand there victorious, but kind of like, pissed off at the world. And what you have going on is the helicopter flying around the top of this tower, and hanging from the helicopter is the guy that murdered your father, Lan Di. And in that moment, you can feel all that tension burning inside because you got this epic stare down between Lan Di, who just witnessed Ryo, who he pretty much just punched once and sent him flying at the beginning of the first game, just pretty much take out this like 8-foot, 500-pound ogre of a man on the very top, who pretty much was going to become one of his right-hand mans for the Chioming clan, and they just had this one long epic stare down. It was just so fucking awesome. And pretty much the rest of the ending for the game was pretty nice, because it was like it went from a really serious tone to a really calm, serene mode where you're trying to find this girl named Shenhua at the very end, and you're pretty much walking through this giant Chinese countryside to the very end of the game, where you go into this cavern and you find this mythological sword, and right there it was just like, god damn it, I can't wait for the third game, only to then be filled up with the emotions of, god damn it, there's no third game. But now there is, so I'm very happy about that, and I'm going to have to revisit the game soon.
I was just going to say, there is a sequel finally coming out.
Yeah, but we also have to take a moment to realize, like, nobody in their right mind thought there would ever be a Shenmue 3, let alone 13 years later. I mean, we had a better chance of getting a Duke Nukem game, and look what fucking happened.
Oh, man, that Duke Nukem game was horrible, but we're not going to speak about it ever again.
Oh, excuse me. So there's my moment. No, go back into the shadows.
I was about to say, now go back to the shadows from which you came, Hubs. So, now I get to share with you all, lovely people, one of my moments that actually it gave me the feels for it. And it's actually on multiple different things.
Well, wait a second. Well, you could only do one, but you get multiple?
No, I meant multiple feels.
Oh, I was Okay, I didn't say anything.
No, I was saying it was multiple reasons on why this gave me the feels on different things.
I didn't say anything. Go ahead.
No, it's one game. I swear. But anyway, just to give more of the background story to it is that me and a very, very good friend of mine, we picked up Metal Gear Solid 2. Now, Metal Gear Solid 2 was on PlayStation 2, and we were just all like, we're going to get through this game. We're going to get through this game in one night. And I was like, okay, rock on. Because this is when you had to rent video games and not through GameFly, where they actually just send your lazy asset, or now you could download it or whatever have you. You actually had to go to this magical, mystical place called Blockbuster Video. Or if you're lucky,
Blockbuster.
You got one of the smaller chains like a Palmer Video, and or you got a Hollywood Video, or any of these other video rental places.
Never heard of Palmer, but Hollywood I have.
But so we got this from Blockbuster. We rented the actual game for it, and we were playing it. Literally, we played it all night. We did not go to sleep until about 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, granted, the game on the whole is kind of short for it. But one of the situations that kind of just awoke into me, and it really turned me on to the series as well, was that inside of the series there's a lot of real events that do happen, or they make mention to it, or they make reference to it in one way, shape, or form. But the thing that kind of gave me the feels, and I was like, holy shit, this is like, things are getting intense right now. It's really starting to tug on me, is when you find out that the Colonel is actually just a simulation. Now, granted, Raiden is a little whiny dude, but when all of a sudden he's starting like talking gibberish, and you're like, what the hell is going on here? And you find out that it's all just a simulation, that all this isn't real, and then you're like, holy shit, this wasn't real all the way up to this? What's going on right now? And then pretty much it was, you're at the final boss, and if I'm spoiling it for anybody, too goddamn bad. It's been really, really long time since that game came out, in multiple incarnations. You have no reason to have you not played it yet, unless you're 15, in which case, why are you watching the show? We're boring. But when you defeated the final boss for it, and then Snake's telling you like, hey, you got to live in the moment, you got to keep on going on, go find this and everything along those lines, and then credits roll, boom, and then all of a sudden you get a phone call, and it's all like, there's more shit going on, and you're like, wow, this is where it gets real, this is where it's getting awesome. That's where I really fell in love with the series more so because of Metal Gear Solid 2, not just because of that story that it was giving you, but because of the emotional connection I had with playing it with my friend. We played all night for it. If anything, we did not stop until that game was done. So that's the game. That was the game that gave me the feels. That was the moment in my gaming career I wanted to talk about today on the show. So everybody can now poke fun at me if you so choose to. Or add in.
I won't poke fun at you.
Oh, it's all right. Mark, I know you want to poke fun at me.
Nah, it's fine.
Fair enough. He's all like, you're already opened up.
You're allowed to like what you like, man.
Yeah, I mean, Mark has been very open about the fact that, you know, he's not a huge Nintendo fan and all this other stuff. And, you know, me and you, Keith, we're like, yeah, Nintendo, yeah, Zelda. So, I mean.
But.
I'm not even a big Sega fan anymore. Like, I haven't played a Sonic game in years, and I am completely okay with that.
I don't blame you as far as that one's concerned. And now that
there is another game I've been playing. It's on my phone, and Pokemon Company just released it. And
what was that?
Oh, is that the Mola Mola game?
No, it's called Magikarp Jump.
That's the Mola Mola
yes,
game.
yes.
I'll pull it up on my
it's
phone.
the game where you play. You're trying to keep a Magikarp alive, right?
Well,
you actually raise it.
You actually like right here. You can't see it, can you?
And you can make it you can make it jump and stuff like that. Like, do you have like little silly competitions?
You have to. That's how you beat it. You have to like go in the league. Here, hold on. There's like a league, but it gets harder as you go on. But like, see, there's like a Pokeballs, and that's like each like competition. It's like a league. You get like league like medals and stuff like that. That's how you end up beating the game. It's similar to the 8 badges, only you have to like defeat all the leagues And pretty much each competition is like whose Magikarp can jump higher. And the more you train it and the more that you feed it, that's how it gets JP jumping points, they call it. And the stronger your Magikarp is, the higher level, the higher it jumps.
Now, I wonder if, like, the ultimate end game is that eventually it turns into Gyarados and then eats you.
Well, it's really funny. I don't know about the eat you part, but it's really funny you say that because they give you something to stop your Magikarp from evolving. And I'm like, into a Gyarados, I'm like, when is it going to evolve? So it's funny that you say that because I'm waiting for the moment that it tries to evolve on me since they gave me that candy. So I don't know. I hope it doesn't try
it's
to
all
eat
like
me.
it turns into a Gyarados. It's like not only will it eat you, but now you lost the game and you have to start from the beginning.
Dude, I would be so pissed. They do have things in here though, like where you're like halfway done like training. Like they have these little like temptation moments where if you give the wrong answer, your Magikarp, a Pidgeotto could show up and grab your Magikarp and fly away, and then you have to start all over and fish for another Magikarp, or your Magikarp will blow up.
Your Magikarp blows up.
Yeah, that's why I called it the Mola Mola game. There's a very consistent possibility your Magikarp may very well die in the process.
Not if you don't know the right answers. See, I know the right answers to all of them. I only lost my Magikarp once, and I realized that if I didn't give in to any of the temptations at all, I would win that win. So I haven't given into any temptations anymore. And so far, I'm actually at the last 2 leagues. I've been like playing the hell out of that too, but because I have problems. But you know,
there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with problems. I have lots of them. In fact, before the show started, I was all like. Hubs was asking me a question about a game that I had, and I was showing him the game, and it still had the shrink wrap on it. And I was like, "Don't judge me. I have problems." But anyway, getting back on track is like I was saying. See, thanks a lot. So now I'm like listening to the voices in my head. Thanks a lot, Hubs.
So basically, you're Randy Orton.
Yeah, kinda. But. Like I was saying, is that this is our 1-year anniversary. That's pretty awesome. Again, we've been doing the show every other Monday, pretty consistently for that matter. We've had a lot of good times on here. We've had a couple of special guests. We're entering our really, really prime time of where it's E3, so we get to see all the games we can actually. I know we're all so excited for. But throughout the year, what were some of your favorite moments of this year? What was some of the things that you grew from this show on? What were some of these things that you really like doing the show? Do you even still like doing the show, sort of thing? So I'd like to start with you, Emily. How is it? Happy anniversary. Let's start off with that one. And then what was one of your favorite moments in the show?
One of my favorite moments. I don't know. I like to host. I honestly wish that we could do more of this where we take turns hosting shows because I think it gives us the opportunity to be more interactive. Like in the sense where it's not just one person. I mean, sure, we could always suggest ideas, but a lot of the times it's Rob coming to us saying, are you guys cool with these topics? And I realized that he's the one that started it. But I actually like what we did this month, how each one of us gets the opportunity to pick topics and host a show. And I wouldn't mind seeing that more because, like I said, I think we're able to get a little more creative and do more with it. I think that I'd like to explore that more. So I actually enjoyed that this month. I enjoyed the opportunity to host, but I enjoyed the opportunity to see what topics, Keith and Mark came up with and things like that. It really gets you to think, and it really gets all of us more involved. Like me, for example, I'm very busy sometimes, and I don't always have the opportunity to tune in. A lot of times I don't talk to you guys. I'm not participating in conversations as much online because I'm busy. And then all of a sudden, you guys are like, hey, it's the day before the show. How you guys feel about this? And then I'm here 10 minutes before. I'm like, all right, let's go. So when we're hosting, it forces, like, when all of us at the chance, it forces me to have to come up with topics and me to be more involved. And I like that aspect. I don't know. I feel like I get to know more about you guys doing that when you guys come up with the topics. So maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I was about to say, like, all honesty, full disclosure to the whole audience sort of thing is, it's like, I could not think of a whole lot of things to talk about right now. So it's like...
I think it's tough, too, because just with the fact that a lot of big gaming stuff that we're going to be able to talk about is after E3, which is next month.
Exactly.
So it's just... We're coming down that where a lot of companies aren't releasing a lot of information. Unless you're the fighting game community, a lot of companies aren't releasing a lot of gaming information right now. They're holding on to it. So it's a little difficult. So I understand that. But it forced you, Keith, didn't it, to think?
Exactly. I did like it. And if anything, I like these little impromptus, and I get to bullshit with you guys because that's what I like to do. I like to bullshit about games, especially.
Too. I like where we could just talk about games too. Like, sometimes it's nice not necessarily having a topic where we could just bullshit and talk about video games.
So, Mark, what was one of your favorite moments in this 1 year of GVN Live that you have participated with us in?
I haven't had any favorite moments. It's all been fucking pain and suffering.
In other words, they've all been great.
I continue to participate. I continue to participate because I feel like you all are penance for something awful that I've done in a past life, like being Hitler.
Yeah. That is some harsh shit right now.
That is balls out. Hilarious.
Look, somebody need to break up all this fucking sappy shit.
You know what? I will say that I enjoy Mark's negative attitude on the show because he always challenges us.
Listen. I do not have a negative attitude. I am realistic. Thank you.
Say realistic.
I like your your bluntness. You're very blunt.
So
I have a very positive attitude. I'm positive that if we don't get blown up in the next 4 years, the world will probably get better.
Okay,
I'm also positive that we might get blown up in the next 4 years.
Like I said, pessimist.
That's not pessimism. I said I'm positive that we might get blown up. There's a possibility that might happen. No, absolutely not.
Oh my god.
Why would I want to get blown up? There are so many great games coming out.
There's a lot of great games coming out.
Well, you're like, I'm positive that we might get blown up. I'm like,
listen. The guy running our country is a clown show. Okay?
We are not going in a political conversation right now.
This isn't a political conversation. Objective reality says this guy's a fucking clown show. If Fallout was going to happen, now is the time that it's going to happen. And listen, I like Fallout. I just don't want to play it in real life.
Well, I don't want to play it in real life either. I like my life.
If anything, I kind of imagine like Mark in a post-apocalyptic with like the assless traps, quite possibly.
I have to beat Zelda. All right, there can't be any nuclear wars. I have to beat Zelda.
Well, Why are you imagining me as homosexual Lord Humongous?
Because.
Two men enter, one toke beef.
I like being the only girl on the show because it's really entertaining to do a show with 3 guys.
Y'all can't hear it, but I killed Robert.
Yeah, that sounds about accurate, actually. That is.
But in all seriousness, there have been some definite positive moments here. The debate between myself and Mr. Robert Hubbs on whether Final Fantasy VI or Final Fantasy VII was better, which I totally fucking won, by the way.
He did.
And Rob can't talk, so he can't dispute.
Even if he could dispute me.
Thank you, Crystal.
You're allowed to be wrong. It's okay. You're allowed to be wrong. It's fine.
I will not dispute. He kicked my ass.
Fair. Just having had the opportunity to, having the opportunity to get to know everyone here. I had an advantage. I was right.
Yeah.
Of being on the right. See, she knows what's up. She knows what's up. Thank you, Crystal. But it's just like beyond that, like a lot of our stuff has generally been, having conversations about topics. That's one of the few moments where it's like a definite moment maker. You know what I mean? So it's not one specific event that we have had or one specific thing that's happened. Like I can't focus down and say there was this one time that, you know, I said this thing or Keith said this thing or Emily said this thing. But it's a lot of little events that I feel overall made this a good experience. And I mean, you know what? I've made good new friends out of it.
Exactly.
You know, I knew Robert beforehand, like before we started doing this, and he invited me into this because we had done other podcasts together. But, you know, this is the first time I had met Keith or Emily. And, you know,
and he regretted his decision ever since.
Well, I do talk a lot, you know. So.
Listen, like all I'm saying is I would not have had you in my apartment if I thought you were a piece of shit.
Well, no, yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying that. Hey, no. I'm sorry, that was my dog, not you.
That's fine.
But anyway, what if anything, like you were saying, Mark, is that it's the whole experience, really. If anything, I made a lot of great new friends with this in particular for it. If anything, I met Hubs through a mutual friend, and then if anything, through the magic of social media, we all ended up here, sort of thing. But I'm not going to keep on dwelling on that, like you said.
I know. Look, you want to come to Summer Jam now? Would you have gone if you didn't hear about the fighting game community all the time for me?
Exactly.
Would you like me to narrate for you while you type, Robert, since you're dying over there?
I can always unmute myself and talk for like 30 seconds.
Do you want to talk, Rob?
I was about to say, should we let him talk, people? I mean, we'll leave the vote to you.
He said, "Can I talk-ish?" in there, so I feel like he wants to talk. I mean, this is at the end of the day, you're the one who brought us together. If you want to talk, Rob, go right ahead.
I'm really having a lot of fun listening to all of you guys talk. So I mean, it's really awesome.
All right, but so if anything, now's the time to talk because just for time constraints, I want to try and keep the show a little bit shorter. But
yeah, like in regards to like what Emily and what like Mark both said in regards to like how Emily talks about like she likes, and it is noted that she likes how we mix things up every now and then, and you know, you guys get to take turns and do hosting like we did like in October and we did this month, and I'm definitely interested in doing that more often if you guys are definitely down for it. And Mark, you know, says like pretty much we just go on and on talking about topics and this, and there's no real specific moment. A couple of the things that I really enjoyed the past year are things where we switched it up a little bit, like when we had Mr. Fu on for the trivia game. And I know we're probably not going to do anything like that again, but it was a nice change of pace. It was something different. It was something fun. The debate that me and Mark had for the Final Fantasy games was something different. It was fun. It was creative. I would love to do that again. When we got Mark to do the Why Your Wafu Sucks segment, and I definitely went heavy into setting that up, you know, for him on my end so it could look good on the stream while he was talking about all that stuff. I mean, that was a lot of fun. I would definitely love to do more unique stuff, things like that for the show. So, I mean, it's those weird off-the-wall things that we do every now and then that I thought was great.
If anything, also, the show is constantly evolving, and that's what's the great thing about it. And that's what's great thing about podcasting. That's what's great thing about Twitch here, is that you get to try different things. And you know what? Eventually, things happen for it. If anything...
I'm going to go back to my corner now.
Okay, I was about to say, get back in the corner! Nobody puts Hubs in the corner. But that's the great thing about where we're at this time. And just as far as the year is concerned, I just... really, again, it was enjoying. I really like doing this. This is something I like doing. I like the when we had guests on. I wish we could have some more guests on, like when we had Long Island Joe, like when we had what were the two guys from GameSack that we had on?
Dave and Joe of GameSack.
Yeah, David Joe came on. That was a lot of fun when they came on. I like interacting with you guys when we actually, and I want to try and incorporate that within the next couple of minutes of talking to you guys and you guys entering in. And when we had Nick on the show, that was a lot of fun. So again, it was just a great experience, and this is what I like doing for it. So again, thank you so much. And again, I made a lot of great friends out of this. If anything, I met Mark. Mark is who hates me, apparently. Not like him. But
I mean, not today.
Well, not exactly, not today. Okay, at this moment he doesn't hate me, so we'll take that and I'll run with it. I got to meet Emily, and now we get to talk about The Legend of Zelda constantly, which is awesome.
You don't even know. You can't even see it, but it's just sitting here staring at me on my.
That's why I'm trying to wrap it. That's why I'm trying to wrap this up as far as that is concerned for. But again, I wish that in one more year, this time next year, for that we have another show. And we could reflect again on the year and be like, wow, we've grown so much. If anything, I think that the show has grown. If anything, Hubs has become affiliated, which I think is pretty awesome just alone for it. That you could see that we're going in the right direction, or at least we're all going in the right direction for it.
You want to know what I hope? I hope that in 1 year from now, Kingdom Hearts 3 is out.
Well, this is the thing, is that between wanting and actually it happening are two different things.
I know.
One hand and shit in the other and see which one spoils first. So, I don't think that's going to happen this year. And if anything, apparently, and we'll talk about that probably more so on the next show, because that will be our pre-E3 show, if I'm not mistaken, Hubs. If you could just, tell me in the background if what's going to happen or not.
I heard that apparently it's supposed to come out in 2018, so I'm that's why I'm saying I hope it's out a year from now. Like, I hope they make some type of announcement at E3, like it's coming out.
I've heard opposite, but we'll never know an actual day for it.
Oh my god, I might be literally 60 before this game comes out.
It's been 84 years.
I know, right? I'll be the hippest grandma playing Kingdom Hearts 3.
And on that note for it, I would just like to again say thank you very, very much. And I want to open it up to you guys. Anybody that is out there in the audience that just wants to ask us a funny, silly question. It could be anything. It could be like, hey, what were one of your favorite moments in this 1 year of anybody who's been here for the 1 year? Half-Life 3 still won't be out. Yeah, that sounds about right, too. Half-Life 3 is pretty much just like Duke Nukem Forever. It's very, very awesome legend for it. I hope that it eventually becomes reality, but something tells me it will not. No, you can keep it PG-13, or if you want to show me some skin, that is fine as well. We can make it rated R. Nothing. Crickets. Okay, then.
Well, give him a second, Keith.
I know.
Give
him a sec. I just don't like awkward silence is the whole thing. So that's why I was all like, okay, we'll just give it.
All right. So if they think about any question, yeah. See, there we go.
Okay, I will like to see Emily. Why don't you answer that? Wow, I just got called.
She
out.
burned you, motherfucker.
Okay, then.
I'd like to see happen in the coming year. Oh my god. You probably can't hear Rob, but Rob is dying right now. He's laughing really hard and he's coughing.
And for the record, I didn't say chirp chirp. He was the one that did.
All right. To answer Crystal's question, well, I would definitely like to see some type of an announcement about Kingdom Hearts 3. I think we've been waiting long enough and we've been super patient, and enough is enough. Square Enix needs to get their shit together and give me a date on when Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out. I realize this isn't going to happen, at least not anytime soon, but I would love it if, we got another Silent Hill game, but I just don't see it happening anytime in the foreseeable future since he's working on a completely different game. But I would like more information on his new game too. And I
do like that.
It's really funny that you say that, Crystal, because I was saying to my friend the other day that all they're going to do is announce at E3 Kingdom Hearts 2.999999999. So
over
it's funny.
365 days.
It was funny that you say that because I literally was just talking about that the other day, that they're just gonna keep adding numbers onto it before we actually get the 3. really, there's a lot of new games coming out that I really want. Like pre-order wise, like video games are biting me this year, and I have a feeling they're gonna bite me next year. Because as of right now, I have like 6 other games. No, I have almost 10 other games pre-ordered right now, and I don't normally pre-order games. So there's a lot of big stuff coming out I want. So I don't know. I just want to keep seeing big stuff happen, and I don't know. That's a hard question. Keith, what are your... That's harsh, man. Dude, I don't want to know that.
36, 24, 36?
What measurements are you trying to ask?
I don't know.
Who's the real pervert here? I mean, really? You guys are coming at me over my obsession.
I was not judging whatsoever. I was intrigued.
No, Rob was, and now he's asking your measurements. Like, what's wrong with you, Rob? I think that sickness you have is going to your head.
Well, I mean, I'm about a large.
Oh my god.
Large. Stop assuming I could be asking shoe size. I mean, 12? Would be, but you ain't. Alrighty, Mark, what was something that you would want to see in the coming year?
I honestly don't have anything in particular, like, right now that I'm really like, oh, I really wish we could see this, because a lot of the stuff that I was looking forward to either has come out or is already announced for coming out. Like,
yeah, that's
Persona
what
5
say.
came out this year.
Hard.
Tekken 7 has a definitive release date for when it's coming. There's, we have an announcement for a remake of Strange Journey on 3DS that we know is coming. Like, I can't think of a thing where it's like dicey, like maybe Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, I guess. But
I think we're just gonna have to wait for E3, because as of right now, we're at that time of year where a lot of big games have already been announced, and it's just a waiting game now. They're holding off on all the other information, and like I said, I mean, Mark, you can agree or disagree with me, but I feel like a lot of the big stuff, like that, we'd want to see is already supposed to come out or is out, which makes watching E3 interesting, because there's already a lot of big stuff already.
Yeah, like the past year and a half at this point has been just nonstop huge hits, great ideas, great releases. Like 2015, I feel, and you're free to disagree if you like, I know some do. I feel that 2015 was a big fucking downer as far as stuff that came out. If you were exclusively a fan of independent releases, it was, it was a banner year, I'm sure. But for people who were looking towards sequels and AAA titles, everything was darkness and death. It sucked. I played a lot of awful fucking games that year. 2016 was awesome. And 2017 has been awesome pretty much since it started. Like from a gaming perspective, the past year and a half has been nuts. It's been great. And, there's just more and more great stuff already lined up, I mean, for me personally, just looking at the stuff that we know definitively is going to come out this year. Like, I don't know if Strange Journey remake is coming out this year or not. I don't think it is. But right now, this year, just in the next couple of months, I already know that, like, this may or may not be dicey. Valkyria Revolution could be good. I'm willing to wait on it, see what happens. Tokyo Xanadu, which I've heard is quite good from a friend of mine, D, who actually imported the damn thing. Agents of Mayhem, which is another game from the folks behind Saints Row 4, and that looks hilarious. Yakuza Kiwami, a remake of the first Yakuza, which fucking hell yes, a remake of the first Yakuza. And, we have expectations that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Danganronpa 3 will come out this year in the US. So there's already a lot of stuff that is announced that will probably be pretty good. So it's like, I don't have one thing that's like, I'd like to see this come out this year, because so much of what I'm looking forward to either already did or is pretty much definitely coming out.
I concur with you as far as that one's concerned. And then Crystal actually asked a really good question for us. And
hey, motherfucker, I said I had something to say.
Fine, you speak.
Okay.
You're the one that was like, "Oh, I don't want to do anything." All of a sudden, now you want to do something.
Well,
I know,
there's so
right?
many good questions that Crystal's asking that I also want to take part in this question first too after this. But one thing I want to see this year, and I'm going to keep it brief, is I would like to see a actual reveal release date for Shenmue 3 and Indivisible, two really big games that I have backed on Kickstarter. I would like to see that at some point this year.
And okay, now going to the next question, because pretty much Mark kind of nailed it on the head for me. Is like everything that I really want that's out is out, and or it's announced, and or it's pretty much done after this one in particular. So, I'm a little bit of a loss for that one. One guest that I would like to have on the show, or one topic that I would like to talk about. Let's see. Honestly, there's like a bunch of people that I would really like to actually have on the actual show to talk about like gaming. I would like to see if maybe Hamish Black would like to be on the show. I would like to see if maybe some of like the smaller Twitch streamers, like I actually know like my one buddy I would like to have on this show, Lincoln Lilly. I would like to have them on this show. There's a bunch of people that I would like, but whether or not they would actually come is beyond me. For one topic, oh man, I don't know, because like if anything, there's so much. We're in an ever-changing industry, so it's kind of like to grasp onto one thing I'm not really sure about at the moment. That takes a lot of time and effort for it. But Mark, what would be one topic and or guest you would like to have on our show?
As far as a topic goes, like I feel like, I can't really come up with a good answer to that question, just because if we have a topic, we just nominate it and we do it. So
Yeah.
It's, the one topic I'd like to have is probably the next one that I suggest, you know what I mean? Like we've never been particularly shy about talking about a thing as far as that goes. So there's not any one thing where I'm like, I'd really like to talk about this and we just haven't done it yet,
Yeah.
So I don't have an answer to that question. As far as like bringing on a particular person to talk about a topic, I don't know, honestly. Like I would probably be fine having on. Like I can't really think of any one person I'd really want on the show, just because I don't know. Like to put it in the simplest terms possible, I have seen a lot of the content that I think is really great from people who I think make like interesting content, like a Jim Sterling or a Yahtzee Croshaw or a Hamish Black. And then I see how they are, or even a Chris Franklin, and then I see how they are in podcasts, and I'm like, would I want to sit down and record with this person for an hour? And let's be clear, like with Hamish, yes, absolutely. I have done it and I would do it again. But like, do I necessarily want to do that with a lot of the other people out there? I'm not 100% sure about that. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. It's kind of like you don't really know. They seem interesting, but also on the same flip side of the coin, do you really?
Well, it's like
really
I look at it from the perspective of, like, take Jim Sterling for example. If you watch his videos, he's a great creator of content. If you listen to Podquisition, the podcast that he makes, there is a lot of conversation about like gross sex shit on there. And, like, that's me saying this, okay? So, like, there's definitely points like, well, I want to sit down and have a conversation with this guy for an hour live. Not 100% sure about that, So it's like I don't really have a good answer to the question, just because, like, I guess we could say I would probably want Hamish to be on here, but beyond that, I have no idea what we would talk about, honestly.
Yep. I concur. Emily, you're the final voice, and then Hubs I think wants to actually say one thing, and then I want to say we should call it a little bit quotes for the show.
Okay, so honestly, I'm just gonna say the first thing that popped into my head, and this is obviously a long shot, but I would love to sit down with Hideo Kojima. Like I said,
I would love to see him too, but I don't know if he would actually do it.
I said it would be a long shot, but I would love to sit down with Hideo Kojima. just because I have so many questions and topics. I mean, there's so many topics. Metal Gear Solid is a one, but no, I mean, I really would like to like. There's just certain developers where I would love to know what, like the creative, like what the creative process a little bit, but I want to know like what they feel it was like for example, asking him like what brought you to start. Obviously he's very well known for Metal Gear Solid. I would love to know more about like how he came up with that and what game development is like really for those that are creating the games, especially when you're in a foreign country and you don't speak English very well. And let's be honest, North Americans, well, we purchase a lot of their games. I mean, we give them a lot of money. In fact, we're like probably majority of their sales probably come from us. So, I mean, it will be, I've looked at numbers before, and a lot of the numbers, they sell very well here.
I don't know.
I looked at numbers for Pokemon, and we normally beat out in Pokemon. But I mean, I looked at other numbers too. But my point is, I was curious. I also want to rack his head on PT and the Silent Hills game that was canceled. You probably can't say much on it, but I would like to know if there's still a possibility of us ever getting another one. But I don't know. Mine is obviously somebody that we can't get on, but it's the first thing that popped into my head. And I also want to know a little bit more on his new game coming out. I think it's, what is it, the Last Standing or the Destiny? What is it?
I don't remember. I just remember that guy from The Walking Dead is naked in it, and
Norman Reedus.
So yeah, that's the only thing that really stood out in my mind on that game.
I want to say it's the last. Hold on. Video game. What is it? It's the last. Is it not the last? Death Stranding. Never mind. I lied. I knew it was something with Stranding in it. Death Stranding is the name.
It's weird. That's all you need to know.
I'm sure we'll find out more at E3.
Oh, most definitely for it. Rub barbecue sauce on yourself and call me daddy. No, I don't think I could do that.
I'm good, but thanks.
Well,
I don't think I'll be rubbing barbecue sauce on myself anytime soon.
That's funny. Anyway, okay. Unless Hubs, did you want to add in your 2 cents on this, or?
Yeah, real quick. I want John Carmack on this show. And while I know I could read, like, I don't know if the book is called the Doom Bible. Is that what that came out, Mark?
But maybe. I don't 100%
pretty much
know,
it's
to
the
be
book
honest.
the Doom Bible, I think, is the one that chronicles the early days of id Software in them creating Doom and their work before then and all that other stuff. But I really just want to, Carmack is a very interesting person. He's a programmer first, and he's very stubborn from what I understand, but he's got a really brilliant mind, and I really want to pick at it. Like, I want to know what goes on between, like, his interactions with Romero and the rest of the id Softwares. Like, he had the final say on almost everything, and Romero was like the only other person who could pretty much sway him. And I would like to know how, like, the early days of id Software and his need for perfection and all that stuff.
Nice. All right, so I think that pretty much wraps up this show for everything. Thank you, everybody that did watch the show tonight, and thank you, and happy 1-year anniversary to us all, and many, many more to come, hopefully in the future for it. So our next show is going to be on, you said it was June 12th, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is going to be June 12th. And that's going to be our pre-E3 show. Yay! So I'm very, very excited for that one. So you got to have to definitely check that one out. Mr. Mark, do you have anything you would like to plug, like some of your awesome Neo Kobe Pizza podcast, for example?
Well, I didn't update this week just because the audio file that we had is kind of shot, and I'm sort of attempting to rework it more or less. But yeah, so we took this past week off, but Neo Kobe Pizza will likely be back at the end of this week with more content. which you can find at soundcloud.com/markbwriting, as well as on Google Music, iTunes, and pretty much anywhere else where podcasts are hosted. I also do my live streams generally every week now on Sunday, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over at twitch.tv/markbwriting. And that's all I got for now.
All right. And Emily, did you have anything that you wanted to plug in particular? I know that you did go off on a lot of the different tournaments that you guys are holding currently right now and all the good stuff that's going to be coming up soon. But was there anything that you're doing right now as far as streaming or anything else?
I am. It is the same that I said last time. I'm still working on stuff and redesigning some of my programs and stuff like that, which got delayed because I've been sick the last couple of weeks. So, but you can find out everything that I'm doing and what I'm working on my Twitter at Jamelian, and my Twitch. I will be starting to stream again, like I said before, which is at Jamelian, and everything is pretty much at Jamelian. So I have a Twitter and an Instagram and a Facebook and all that jazz. So follow me, and I also have a YouTube at Jamelian, and I will be putting more content up soon once I get caught up from being sick on work and everything.
And I'll as of right now, I'm still on that juncture, so I'm not going to further into that. And of course, you can check out Mr. Hub's stuff, and you can always see him doing his either Game Jam, which is usually on Wednesdays, and also his 3 Vets and a Noob, where he does Phantasy Star Online on Thursdays. So be sure to check those out as well right here on this channel. And on the Gamer Keith, thank you again so much, and thank you, Emily, and thank you again, Mark, and we'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Bye. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.